Hi, welcome again to my class SQL Server DB. Today I would like to discuss or give you some information regarding one of the attractive feature of SQL Server, and this particular feature is introduced in SQL Server 2012 version, and this feature is one of the high availability feature which is called as always on. This is available from the version of SQL Server 2012, wherein these features includes the powers of clustering and the mirroring, which are the high availability options which we used in the previous versions of SQL Server. So till 2008 R2, the high availability options were the mirroring, the log shipping, and the clustering. So now in this 2012, the new feature which is called as always on is introduced to decrease the downtime of the servers, which is an important concept of downtime, wherein the downtime is playing very most important and prominent role in the production servers. Wherein, as we know, the downtime, the term gives in the information wherein the database will be on the down. At that time, if there are any operations being connected to the database, that will not succeed. So, with the features of the high availability options like clustering, mirroring, log shipping, there is some downtime, wherein in this always on is introduced to decrease that one and the always on availability group is used better than the other high availability concepts. Today in this particular class I would like to just show you a document regarding the configuration of always on in SQL Server 2012. So now I'd like I'll be going ahead and showing you this particular picture and explaining you something about the configuration. So the environment will be like this. I have two separate VMwares running in VMware Workstation with Windows 2008 R2 Enterprise Edition and the 2 Enterprise Edition and named Denali and Denali 2. These are the two names of the virtual machines. First thing we'll do here is we'll make sure that the .NET framework is available or installed in this one, wherein this feature is important or mandatory for the, the failover clustering or for always on to configure. So initial step will be to check out the .NET framework. Then we'll be going ahead and adding some features after checking out the .NET framework availability. We'll go ahead and add some features of failover clustering. Again, the failover clustering concept, the feature which is used to failover the services from one instance or to other instance of one server to other server. And after installing this failover clustering feature in the server, we'll be validating this particular configuration. Here is the option validating the configuration. Means that before going forward, after failover cluster is done, we'll be going ahead into the failover management and we'll validate the configuration wizard. We'll click on validate the configuration and press and click next. So that will validate all the things. So after clicking on validate, we'll get this window which shows what are the servers to be validated. Now we named the servers as Denali and Denali 2, which are two servers. And here is the validate a configuration wizard. Here we'll select these two servers to validate. After checking, it will go ahead and check out the many validations and pass this validation report. So we can see the report over here, wherein this report helps out to check out the status of the validation reports run by this validation. So after getting the success message of validation, and if we feel all the validations are succeeded, then we'll be creating a cluster. We have an option here like to create a cluster, wherein in this cluster will after you click on cluster, that will take us to the create cluster wizard. Now we are naming the cluster as Denali cluster. So we'll click on next and the create cluster will be under process, and cluster then object with name Denali cluster will be created. After the creation, we can see the report how the cluster ran and regarding information of this one, name of the cluster, name of the nodes connected to this one, and we can check out the report over here. So in this failover cluster management, now we will install a SQL Server 2012 on both the servers named Denali and Denali 2. So the installation, these are the both the servers, and we'll install SQL Server on both the servers. So installation will be same as the general SQL Server installation. Here you'll be selecting standalone installation. You'll be selecting standalone installation, and the feature after that you'll be having a SQL Server feature installation. Here we'll be selecting the features of database engine services and click on next. Next we'll be having database engine name. It will ask for some account name and password for this particular services. These are the in this database engine for this browser, this each one will ask for the account name and password which we'll be using at the time of login. So after we click on next, it will go ahead and install the SQL Server, and as we decided, this installation will be done in both the servers of Denali and Denali 2. So we'll be selecting the mixed mode or Windows authentication mode while installation, and then we'll go ahead and check out the protocols, whether the protocols are enabled or not. So we'll check out the protocols, and if not enabled, by default these are disabled, so we'll enable this TCP IP. And for the next one, as after going over there, after you can select in the configuration manager, you can select the SQL Server, click on the SQL Server services, right click SQL Server and choose the properties, and click on the enable always on availability groups. So this availability groups option is available in 2012 Enterprise Edition, wherein the editions below that like Developer Edition and Express Edition, this option is not active or enabled. We can only enable this in 2012 Enterprise Edition. So to the next of that one, in that we need to add some startup parameters, wherein we need to add these parameters so that we can make sure it will not create any issues in the future. We'll be adding the required. There are some parameters by default. We'll be adding this one also. So for both these instances, we'll be doing the same. In the both the instances, we'll be enabling the protocols. We'll be adding that parameter, and now we'll create a login, which we can use this login at the time of logging in. We can use this credential at the time of logging in. So the configuration of always on is done. Now we'll see some sample database and how this works. Suppose we need to do this to connect to the primary server using SSMS. We'll be creating two databases and backup them network shape to create. In this example, I'll create database Ramajama and roll tide, and then create database backups. Here this is SSMS and first server Denali. Here we'll be creating the database. The databases are created Rammer and Jammer and roll tide. Okay, we created there. Here the next step we'll be doing here is in SSMS. If we go to management, if we can right click availability groups, we need to create a new availability group wizard. So after clicking there, we'll get the new availability group wizard, when we'll be adding these two tables to that group wizard, and we'll select the replicas. Here we have three types of replicas. First one is automatic failover, and this replica will use synchronous commit availability mode and support both automatic failover and manual failover. The next one will be high performance. This replica will be asynchronous commit, and they will be in this we can only do forced failover where there may be a possibility of data loss, and high safety, which is synchronous commit availability mode and only support manual failover when compared to automatic failover. Automatic failover is also a synchronous commit one, which supports automatic failover and manual failover. But coming to high safety, it only supports manual failover, though it is a synchronous one. So after that, we'll be selecting connection mode. Connection modes, there are three types of connection modes again. Disallow connections. This availability replica will not allow more connections, allow all connections like this. We can see here replica mode, automatic failover, automatic failover. This is the primary first server, this is the second server. And connection mode, we can use this any of them. You can check out regarding those. The summary, you can see the summary. The replica mode will be automatic failover, and the connection mode in secondary will be disallowed. Specify availability group listener. Here, next one will be specifying a group listener. Mm, Here we will be giving a listener DNS name as listener port 1433. You can use some subnet there, and data synchronization. Here we need to specify a shared network location of the backup. So the backup will take a backup of the database and keep this database in the shared server, a shared folder, wherein this shared folder will be accessible by both the servers, that which is used for data synchronization. And the next one is validation. So as we are setting up a listener group over here, it is checking out the validation. All the validation is success, and the summary over here is like this one. So the databases which we are working on, the listener configuration is Burma listener, which we gave there, and the database are this one. Data synchronization will be automatic. The backup location, shared backup location will be here. Server instance name is Denali. Server instance second one is 2, and the connection mode and the replica mode as we give, it is showing us summary. You can also check out the TSQL using by clicking on the script. You can check out the script and run over there also. So now we can see the results over here. All the results over here regarding this availability group setup. Wizard is completed successfully, completing endpoints, availability group with name, server name, and everything. It is the status of that one and result. And how we can view the availability group in HSMS now as we created that one. We can see the availability group in SSMS in the management. Well, availability group which we gave is AG underscore number, and the primary one is Denali and the secondary one is Denali 2. The available databases under this, as we selected before, it is Ramajama and Oldtime, and the group listeners will be AG Bamam, Data Tire. Here until this, these are available group information which we read. So now we'll be adding a database over here. We'll add, right click there, so we can check out the summary of this one, the status of everything, the databases, the listener, the servers, and database synchronized healthy status in that one. Here you can see the server Denali 2, and the databases over there is Ramajama and Rolltide. And here we'll be creating a table called netcharms on the primary server in Denali Ramajama database. So Denali, we created netcharms in this one, and within seconds, if I switch over to my secondary server, the netcharms table already created there is already created in the secondary server. You can see over here, you can already create is already created. In this way, the synchronization will be better and the downtime will not be there, because if there is connection to the server Denali, and if for any reason Denali, the connection to the Denali loses, if we are using the automatic failover, it will automatically fail over to Denali, and which is having the same database, because the synchronization is so active, wherein all the information, all the database information is also available in Denali too, beside Denali. So by this way, always on is a very important feature which is not having a downtime, which is better using when compared to clustering and database mirroring. And beside this, like but this is only available from SQL from 2012 version, which is only available on enterprise edition. And if you are working, if you are using, if you are looking out learn this one, and if you are using, if you want to use 2012 enterprise edition, you can use this always on feature. You can check out the power of this always on feature. Thanks very much for watching my video.